Okay. How does this thing work? Am I on? Am I on? Is it working? Is it working? Okay. Sometimes I severely underestimate the amount of time I need to complete a project. This is certainly one of them. The amount of time, energy, and research this has taken certainly took up way more than I originally planned. That said, feel free to enjoy this teaser and some of what to expect. Similar to many that left religion, I searched for a new community, a place where others might understand what I was going through. It was disappointing to realize that in many ways, the atheist communities I found were eerily similar to what I had left, especially at the beginning of my journey.
Yep. One might even say I'm Jewish.
Oh, that's good for you. That's wonderful. I respect all religions of the world.
I'm Muslim.
Jehovah's Witness.
Atheist.
The Lord is testing me.
Guys, this is a subject that breeds conflict. Can we please do
What religion are you, Jeff?
I'm agnostic.
And yes, I'm aware that the term atheist community is going to have mixed responses. I'm just trying to keep things a bit simpler here. In previous videos, I've mentioned that I live in a very red state, but there are atheists here. During the past couple of years, a couple of community events advertising different topics such as what is new atheism and atheism and Christianity in our community. The first thing I noticed is the majority of participants were in their late 40s and older. When there were younger people, they usually left about halfway through, or they just didn't show up again. Speaking for myself, 2 events were enough, and I barely made it through the second one. The atmosphere felt unwelcoming for a few reasons. There were clashes due to age difference, since the majority fell into the Gen X or Boomer category. Second, there was a clear disdain for those younger atheists. And third, there was a weird conservative anti-SJW vibe. The most poignant example was during one of the group discussions that centered around atheism and YouTube. I avoided interjecting into the discussion as I listened to them laugh at those silly drama channels that combined atheism and social justice. Their smugness was off-putting, and it's taken time for me to process why I've often kept a distance when it comes to interacting with certain atheist forums and some content creators. It's often a lack of empathy, unnecessary aggression, and seeing too many similarities to the religion I left, such as not holding people accountable. While I understand that the overarching idea of making atheism more acceptable exists, it should not override calling out bad behavior, especially when those same people will call out similar behavior in religious spaces.
I'm talking about people who don't critically think about atheism to the same extent that they ask that theists think critically about their religion, okay? I'm not saying atheism as a concept. I'm saying these big logic men that do logic arguments, and then in reality they're not well thought out. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about atheists as a concept. I'm talking about, because there's like a certain breed of creators that do this, right? Like Matt Dillahunty does this as well.
A few things before starting. Not everyone's experience is the same, and not every atheist is deconstructing after leaving religion. It's not a monolith, and while there are debate bros and performative feminists, there are some creators that utilize empathy and intelligence in their content. Second, this video is focused mainly on 2 creators as examples to illustrate how poorly the atheist community was at calling out bad actors. If your first reaction is to immediately run to the comments to defend or rationalize their behavior, ask yourself why this criticism has that visceral of a reaction for you. Third, this is not focused on the philosophies and theories of atheism, and I do not need a definition. Fourth, I'm not interested in a debate. This is not a debate bro channel. Fifth, don't make me turn off comments. If you can't play nice, take your toys and go home. People can disagree. Reasonably-ish, maybe. Feel free to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and with Mothra the Bunny of Data Science, let's discuss. Leaving a high control group can create seeds of anger and revenge. One of the things I often went back to while deconstructing was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It was one of the quieter shows on TV and made me feel calm as a child. The show may have been directed at kids, but we're never too old to remember what we should do with the anger we feel.
What do you do with the mad that you feel? When you feel so mad you could bite. When the whole wide world seems oh so wrong, and nothing you do seems very right. What do? Do you punch a bag? Do you pound some clay or some dough? Do you round up friends for a game of tag or see how fast you go? It's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong and be able to do something else instead and think this song. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop, anytime, And what a good feeling to feel like this, and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can.
If you think I'm wrong about nearly anything, you have several times a month that you can call in and tell me why. Now, of course, the people in the comment sections are rarely actually brave enough to do that. They're only brave behind their cartoon avatars and their generic usernames, which are like this sort of generic first name followed by random numbers.
Okay.
George, you're aware that we legitimately don't know who wrote those books. And we also know that they were written 30 to 40 years after.
Stop. George, do you know what this is I'm holding in my hand?
You're holding you're going to quote the Bible. I'm pretty sure you're going to quote the Bible where it says the same thing. But there's atheist scholars who also say that that the Gospels do bear record of Matthew. For example,
George, if you would shut the fuck up, you little runt, and listen to me and stop presuming what I'm going to say. What I asked you was, what am I holding in my hand?
Well, gang, I hope you had a good time, and I hope you learned some new words, too. Come on back and see me again for some more fun learning. And remember, treat other people the way you want to be treated, okay? I've got to go now. So long!